Hey, welcome to this lesson on how to be happy with what you have. This is actually a big part of mental fitness, is noticing that the mind has this acquisitive pull. It's usually looking for more. It thinks the answer to happiness, to well-being involves more things, like more stuff, more plans, more money, more friends, more food, more belongings. And sometimes more is a good thing, but what we want to be able to train is a mind that is content with what it has, where enough is enough. We have this evolutionary instinct towards accumulating resources and trying to put this ever changing world into perfect order, which is just not realistic. But from a mental fitness standpoint, this is part of what we're training, the ability to be happy kind of no matter what. And there was a 2020 positive psychology study where they interviewed minimalists who kind of take this to the extreme. They live as simple as possible, and their lifestyle was linked to greater mental space, awareness, and positive emotions. So we don't have to all become minimalists, but it helps to simplify our lives. And I'll talk about 11 ways of doing this. The first is to cruise through an afternoon on airplane mode for the whole afternoon. If this is possible, maybe it's a weekend for you if your job requires a phone. But notice how much extra space in your mind there is if you just put your phone on airplane mode. Number two is to make no plans for an entire day. See if that's possible. See what that's like. There was a time when people really didn't have many plans and many schedules. And we all experienced that at some point when we were very young children. So it can be very freeing to just open up the day to more possibilities and see what comes your way. And number three is to give away what you don't use. And this is kind of a triple benefit because you're making more space in your living quarters. You're also going to feel really good for helping others, and you're, helping the world, making it a better place. Number four is more downtime and less downloads. Number five is to practice gratitude journaling. So this is one of the most validated positive psychology techniques, and it's essentially training the mind to look for things that are positive throughout the day, because when you start writing down things you're grateful for, you're kind of flagging the salient system to say, oh, what else is going right? What else is working out for me? And this combats the negativity bias that we have towards insults or things that we don't have or things that we need more of, towards appreciating what we do have. Number six is to try to have zero checked bags when traveling on an airplane. That's just next time you travel, see if you can bring less. Number seven is to have a screen free Sunday, if possible. And this can be really challenging in our modern way of living, but it's amazing how much this will do for your mental fitness. And according to a 2023 systematic review of 50 different academic articles, it seems that in young people, screen exposure lowered their mental well-being, which is no surprise. So the more that we can spend out in nature and doing things, just take one day and see how this impacts you. Number eight is to catch sunrise and sunset, which is not only gorgeous, but they also set your internal biological clock. So there are cells in your eyes, particularly in the bottom of your eyes, that are connected directly into your brain and the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the internal biological clock. And these are sensitive to the certain wavelength of light that it's the wavelength of this kind of yellowish light that you see close to sunrise and sunset. And those bookmark or bookend the day in a sense and let your body know that, all right, it's time to start the day and it's time to end the day. It'll help your sleep cycle and you'll feel better in addition to getting out in nature and appreciating the beauty. Number 9 is to try to subtract a meal for a day and notice how this impacts you. There's a lot of research now on intermittent fasting, eating within a smaller time window, and this has a proven impact on the mind. It was shown to increase brain derived neurotropic factor signaling, essentially help grow new nerve cells, and additionally, it increases human growth hormone or reduces inflammation, and it might extend your lifespan, although there's more research needed in humans. So there's a lot of health benefits to fasting, in addition to the more time you'll have during the day. And there's kind of a mental challenge to it. I think there's a reason a lot of religions like Judaism and Islam that incorporate fasting into their traditions. In fact, there was a study on the impact of fasting during Islamic Ramadan, the holiday where they fast the whole day. And it showed that this increased serotonin levels, brain derived neurotropic factor, and nerve growth factor. So, a lot of benefits to fasting. And you can try it just by subtracting one meal and then eating all your calories within a smaller time window, like within 8 hours, ideally, or within 10 hours. Number 10 is to bask in silence for a few minutes. Yes, silence is golden. Enjoy the silence. And that's what you're training also when you meditate, how to really enjoy the silence. And finally, number 11 is to have it their way. In other words, when you're with people and or things don't go the way you planned, and they, let's say your husband or your wife says, "Oh no, I want it this way today," then just say, "Yes, let's do it that way. That's fine with me." And this kind of flexibility and willingness to change your plans or to actually step outside of yourself and put others first is incredibly liberating. And it makes the mind less rigid that things have to be a certain way. So, living light and being happy with what we have isn't about avoiding our roles and responsibilities or not getting the things that we need to feel comfortable and supported, but rather it's about creating the right environment and the right conditions so that our mind can feel spacious and light and unburdened by the stresses that tend to weigh us down. If we can measure our days in terms of degree of presence instead of productivity, in terms of the quality time we spend with others instead of how much we get done, then this way of living can cultivate mental fitness naturally. So we devote more time towards positive qualities of mind and prioritize our state of mind and our well being. And your daily challenge is to simplify your life by letting go of one unnecessary habit or activity. I'm curious which one you would choose, and please comment below. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.